Afternoon, people. Afternoon. That day has arrived. Not the day to pick up Isak. It's to pick up 3 points at St. James's Park. But, Gene, we were going to do our first watch along. Let's get it out there that we are unfortunately not going to do the watch along. Don't blame me. Don't blame me. Blame Gene because... And actually, you know, I'm blaming you guys as well. Why? Because whenever I came on stream for the last week or so, all I saw in the chat was free Gene. But realistically, was I going to do a watch along alone? It was never going to happen. But Gene, welcome. It's our first Transfer Daily overlap match preview today. But you know what? I'm getting quite nervous, Gene. I can't lie. I am nervous about today, but excited at the same time. But it's the time has arrived to really stamp our authority early on in this league.
Yeah, what a day. A massive game. Tonight, 8 p.m. under the lights, St. James's Park. They're going to be up for it. We're going to be up for it. And it has been a bit of a wait in terms of the game coming. You know, we've not played, I think, for about 8 or 9 days now since the Bournemouth game. But wow, what an unbelievable occasion tonight. I can't wait, Asim. I know I've wanted to go. I told you from day one, I'm not doing this watch along. I'm going to go to the game because there was no way I was going to miss this occasion, especially at St. James's Park. And yeah, Asim, massive day ahead.
Let's go to the game then, Gene. I woke up to a few things today. Apparently, the rumours are, I got this video sent to me during the show yesterday as well. Then a million other people sent me it as well. Apparently, McAllister has not come off the bus. I haven't bothered to verify that, but it looks like apparently his missus is due to give birth as well. So if that's the case, we wish all the best for that. A little McAllister should be playing for Liverpool in a few years' time. But Gene, he's going to be a massive miss because all those things that we were talking about, how feisty this game is going to be. As little as he is, the guy does not back out of any challenge, and he's slow in terms of having legs to cover the pitch. But boy, he makes up that up in tenacity and intelligence.
Yeah, and you look, everybody knows my thoughts on McAllister. I think he's probably one of the best players in the Premier League. He's been here for 2 years now, and arguably been definitely in the top 5 best players for us over the years. You know, instrumental in us winning the title, and I can't wait. Asim, if I'm honest with you, I can't wait for the game. But Alexis McAllister, make no mistake, is a massive miss for Liverpool Football Club. We're going to miss his class in that midfield. We're going to miss in terms of how good he is on the ball, in terms of, you know, making sure that you control the tempo of this game, because it's going to be feisty, Asim, and you sometimes need a controller in there. And McAllister calms us down at times, and we're going to miss that tonight. There's no doubt about that. But we have a squad. That's good enough to go, especially in our midfield area with Jones, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, and Wirtz. It looks like, you know, we're probably going to be playing them four in our midfield. Them four being our midfield options. Is a massive miss, and I know in a game like this you need players that have got balls. And McAllister is one of them who has the balls. He's got that South American grit, tenaciousness. And we're going to miss that today. There's no doubt about that.
The conversation, Gene, was all about right back, and it probably affected who plays here as well. Does that end the news that's coming out, the rumours, if it's true about McAllister? Does it end the debate about Szoboszlai playing right back because you have to play him here?
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Szoboszlai does not play in the right back position. He has to play in the midfield, especially without Alexis McAllister. And look, I mentioned earlier I would probably have gone with Bradley, but regardless of who it is, whether it's Bradley, whether it's Gomez, whoever gives us 60 will hopefully give us, the other player will give us 30 towards the end of the game. And I think that's how it has to play out. We actually don't have a choice right now. Dominic Szoboszlai has to play in that midfield today. I had him out on the wide left, Asim, yesterday. So I want him in that midfield. We need his legs, and we're going to need him to have an unbelievable game today, Asim.
Let's quickly go through the team then, Gene, although a lot of the positions pick themselves. Alisson, Van Dijk, Konate, Kirkes.
Yep.
Are you going for Kirkez? Are you
Yes.
100% on him?
100% on him. I'm not dropping a guy because he didn't have the best of games. No chance. I'm going Kirkez.
Just needs to stay on his feet.
Yeah, and Kirkez had an unbelievable game at Newcastle last year for Bournemouth. I'm not taking him out the side. You spent £40 million on a player, left back. He's going to have to be good enough again today against Tony Elanga. Because if it is a Robbo or a Simicas, I think out of all the three players, Kirkez is probably still the paciest, and we're going to need his pace against Elanga.
So if the McAllister rumours are correct, you're playing Szoboszlai, you're playing Gravenberg. Should be switching that over to a little 4-3-3. So Szoboszlai, Wirtz, and Gravenberg.
No. I'm still going.
Wow.
I'm changing nothing because my.
So you're sticking with Szoboszlai here?
No, I'm playing Jones today.
Where does Szoboszlai play?
I'm Gravenberg, Szoboszlai, Jones, and on the Wirtz from the left today. I think that's how he's going to play.
No. Not how Slot is going to play. Is that how you want to play?
Yeah. That's me changing
Wow.
me. Oh, and I was always one that wanted.
So you've just gone for the extra midfielder?
Yeah, I think we need an extra midfielder in there today, Asim.
Wow. That's interesting. That's just thrown me off because I didn't expect it. So you've gone Wirtz there, Curtis left midfield, Szoboszlai number 10, and Gravenberg.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just think, he's going to come inside. I don't know, Gene. I don't know.
You think he plays Gakpo?
I think he plays Gakpo now.
And who would you? So you're saying Gravenberg, and
I think
Dominic
Gakpo is going to be here.
Right.
I think Szoboszlai Wirtz in the number 10, Szoboszlai in the left side midfield role, taking over the position of McAllister. Gravenberg is back. Here, I think he might just go with Gomez or Bradley, whoever is fitter. And at the moment, at face value, I think Gomez is fitter. I think Gomez will probably get 60. And then maybe Szoboszlai comes here. And then Curtis can come in the number 10 position. Or even Bradley, depending on how many minutes he's available for. If he gets 15, 20 minutes as well. That could be an option as well.
Fair play. Look, I just think I just feel as though we might play an extra man in midfield today, Asim.
Yeah, look, he's done it before.
Yep.
He's done it against Aston Villa. He's done it against Manchester City. I think it was on one of the occasions where Curtis and Diaz, I think it was the Villa game, that way they were interchanging between the number 10 position. You've had, Szoboszlai going into the second striker roles as well from the number 10 position as well. So we have seen it before. I just don't see. I think it's probably a bit too much where too many players want to occupy that space, because if Curtis is playing in that position, Gene, he's naturally going to be in that left half space. But then you've got Wirtz naturally coming. I think they'll get too crowded in the similar players who want to do the similar things in that space. And I think it probably works better. I didn't mind McAllister coming here, providing a bit of protection on and off the ball, and then you've got the 2 10s. Wirtz.
I think Jones is going to drop into a 2, though, Asim.
That's a fair point. I think
Jones will drop into a 2 with Gravenberg, and he will help Gravenberg out today, especially today. I think he might drop into a 2 and then give Wirtz the freedom.
Yeah,
and
it does work.
Hopefully, Kirkes can go bomb on if Gomez is playing in the right back position, because then at least we're going to need one of our full backs to push on. If it is a Gomez, then Kirkes is he's going to have some sort of license to push on and hopefully support Florian Wirtz in that position. But it's not what we needed, Asim. Let's be honest. We didn't need a player like McAllister he's not confirmed yet, but there are a lot of rumours that he won't play. I just think an extra man in midfield with a Gomez at right back, allowing Kirkes to push on and helping out Wirtz, which will allow Wirtz to come slightly inside. I think that's what Arne Slot will do today, but we'll have to wait and see what he does.
Just briefly, the dangers. Obviously, we've got the Elanga pace on their right-hand side. We've got Anthony Gordon down the middle, which will provide a bit of a different challenge, even though we did see it in bits at the home game. I think they played like a 4-4-2 on that night. It was very easy for Liverpool, but it was a completely different side that we played a week later at Wembley. Where is the obvious dangers and some of the things that we need to be careful on? I think one of the areas, Gene, is the set pieces, the likes of Dan Burns climbing over. I think we need to make sure this time we do. Well, McAllister might not play this game if the rumours are to be believed, but whoever it is, it needs to be a tall fella that gets Dan Burns on corners and and free kicks.
They caused us a lot of problems. The writing was on the wall, especially in the cup final in the first 10-15 minutes, where he got on the end of one. Then he actually scored one from the second one, and we have to be, we have been susceptible at times to corners defensively. Asim, let's face it, over the last few games, Van Dijk, Kanate haven't completely been at the races. Kirkes hasn't had the best of starts in terms of the game against Bournemouth, but there's no better than the present, no time better than the present, and these defenders have to turn up. We have to be switched on from the first minute. We simply cannot allow a mistake that's going to cost us a goal. I don't want that. They better not concede from a mistake or anything like that, because previously in years gone by, especially there, we have made mistakes which have allowed Newcastle in.
100%.
We have to be calculated in the way we attack. We can't be gun ho. There's times you've mentioned that there's just way too many players further up the pitch, because in transition this team will hurt you. There's no doubt they will hurt you in transition, and we have been picked off a couple of times, and I do not want to see Liverpool making that same mistake this season. And look, another thing which in the cup final, Asim, I was really impressed with their fullbacks. Livramento had a really, really good game. They pushed high on us. They didn't give us the space. They might go man to man. They're not going to allow us time on the ball. The crowd is not going to allow us time on the ball. So we have to be prepared to find a way through, and that's why Florian Wirtz is key today. He has to come to this game and take the game by the scruff of its neck, because the other players, you're our talisman in terms of creativity. You are our talisman in terms of making the team tick. So we need a big performance from Florian Wirtz.
Let's go to Atik's in the house. Good to see. We still haven't sorted out, by the way. Apparently, the software that we're using, the facility to put the comments up, they're using some 2012. Is that right, Lamu? 2012? Yeah. Just nod. 2012 Windows 7 or something. So we've apparently needed to spend a bit of time on it and get your comments on the screen. So please bear with. We do know about it. We're trying to work on it, and hopefully we've got that ready for the next show. Atik's in the house. He says, with no Isak, where are their goals going to come from? It's a fair point, but one thing that they're going to have, Gene, is the runners going from those deep areas. If Elanga is picking up a ball from deep in settled play, or even on the counter attack, if you've got Gordon coming, it's those runs from deep that have got a yard or 2 yards on the defenders. And it's a good job that Kanate and Van Dijk, even though Van Dijk is 34, he's still got that recovery pace. Not that Van Dijk recovery pace that we saw 3, 4, 5 years ago, but it's still no slouch. But that is they might have, we were talking about the extra midfielder for them, Gene. They've probably got a similar dynamic, where if you're going to play Gordon up front, where he's not going to trouble us every pass that comes, a vertical ball from them, we're going to snuff out because we've just got bigger lads and climbing all over Gordon. But it does give them the freedom to go into those deep areas and control proceedings as well. So it's just probably a matter of who controls that game. And you're right about the likes of Florian Wirtz going and finding those pockets. And this is probably where I really think we're going to miss McAllister, because McAllister has got that ball to play in midfield. He can accelerate play. He's also got the ability to just slow things down, and you have that intelligence and you have that trait in big grounds and big atmospheres. It is crazy, because the first 15-20 minutes, Gene, is going to set the tone. And I'm going to use every cliche in the book, but every game is decided, especially in those away games. If you can control the crowd in the first 15-20 minutes, then over the 90, hopefully the quality shines through. But it's going to be a fascinating game. It's going to be probably decided by a moment of magic, I think.
Yeah.
And the good thing is that we've got those players that can provide a moment of magic a lot more. We've got world-class players. Newcastle, with all due respect, have got very good players.
Yeah.
But hopefully, on the big day, one of our Mohamed Salah or Florian Wirtz comes up with a moment of magic. There was something a comment also, I think. Lee Ryder, I don't know how reliable he is, but I do know he writes for the Chronicle. I've lost the comment, but just to paraphrase, I did read it earlier. I think he's saying that Newcastle are bracing themselves for a second bid, and that bid will be around £150 million. Gene, we talked about it on last night's show. I was a bit disappointed. I still believe Liverpool will get Isak, whether it's 5 to 12 on the 31st of August. I do
5
think
to 7. 5 to 7.
Is it 7 o'clock?
7 o'clock.
Okay, at 7 o'clock. At 5 to 7. But what the manager, are you still of the opinion that he was just coming out and lowering expectations? And was he lowering expectations because the big news, the big disappointment is to come that we're going to back off, or we can't get Isak until January or next summer? Or is he lowering expectations for Liverpool to pounce quietly and with a big massive surprise come after the game?
We are going to pounce. I've maintained that Liverpool will pounce for Alexander Isak. I'll always maintain it. We haven't gone in for another forward simply just to sit on our laurels over the last 3 weeks and not go for a plan B, or not even try to look for a plan B. We're not just going to let this play out the way it's supposed to play out. Isak's done everything he can. Liverpool are definitely going to make a play for Alexander Isak. Whether Newcastle accept the bid or they reject Al Raymayun, whatever he's called,
Al Rayman.
Whatever it is.
I think so.
Ramayun, is it Rayahan? Whatever he's called, yeah.
The boss.
The boss. He's supposedly at the game tonight, Asim. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I'm still confident that Liverpool will make a move for Alexander Isak, and still confident that he will be a Liverpool player come before the transfer deadline day on the 1st of September. And I'm still confident that we'll get Marta Gueye as well, regardless of what slot the journos are saying. I still believe we will get this player over the line. Where's your confidence barometer, Asim? Because
I'm not. My confidence is not swayed. One bit. Marta Gueye, I think there's some talk about Crystal Palace are favourites to sign a centre back. He could well be the Marta Gueye replacement. So I think it was around about 20 to 25 million pounds. I don't even know the player, but it's a centre back, so it's good news.
Wasn't they linked to that Ousmane Diomande?
Yeah, that was early on. I think they were trying to lowball Sporting earlier in the summer, but it looks like they're going for this centre back. I'm very, very confident they'll probably get 35 million pounds for Marta Gueye and spend 20 to 25 million pounds on Marta Gueye's replacement. One in, one out. I think that deal is not done. Nothing's guaranteed in football, but I think I'll be flabbergasted, as I said last night, if Marta Gueye is not a Liverpool player. My confidence, I'm not going to lie, is high on Isak. It has always been high. Is it as high as Marta Gueye? No.
Yeah, of course.
No, purely on the basis of there's no acceptance, like public acceptance of the club wanting to sell. But I hope the boss has come to sanction a deal off. This talk about Newcastle having a last chance or a last attempt in terms of trying to reintegrate the player at the last moment, I can't see Alexander Isak doing what he did or has done all summer and then getting reintegrated, because he came out only a couple of weeks ago. David Ornstein and all these top journalists reported that he doesn't want to play for Newcastle again. Now that might be a negotiating tactic. There's been a lot of negotiating tactics all summer from all parties, but if I'm honest, if and it's a big if still for me, if Isak does not come and be a Liverpool player and stays at Newcastle, I do believe that he is going to be playing for Newcastle. I can't see a player of Isak's magnitude not playing for the club. And if he does, and he takes the club to court, and the court has, and the club has to fight back and appeal this and appeal that, basically, the dirty laundry out in public where a player is refusing to play, then honestly, nothing should surprise you in football or in life. But this would surprise me. That he doesn't play for Newcastle ever again. If he stays beyond the 1st of September, then honestly, that would be the biggest shock for me in recent times, because I just think is his agent coming out trying to stamp authority on the situation and all that sort of stuff. If, and it's still, I repeat, it's a big if that he stays at Newcastle, then if he comes and plays for, if he refuses to play, then some people will say the really hardcore fans that are really behind him and behind him as what he's doing will say, you know what, I applaud his perseverance and he really wants that move. For me, look, if our player did that, Gene, we'd be fucking going crazy. Let's be honest. We're all hypocrites.
We've been here. We've been here before. We've seen it. We've been hurt. We've been stung. We've been down in the dumps and experienced when one of your best players wants out of your football club and is willing to do, handed in a transfer request. Obviously, we managed to keep him for another few months before Coutinho left. He wanted out. He got his move, albeit a few months later. Luis Suarez, Asim, we've been there. He wanted out. Even he wanted to go to a rival, Arsenal at that time, where we were, going for top 4 at the time. And he wanted to leave. He stayed. We managed to keep him for another year. And then he got his move to Barcelona the year after. So look, I'm not gonna sit here and condone everything. No, but this is the life of a footballer nowadays. We live in a world where these things happen in the footballing world, where you're not gonna get loyalty to this sort of level. Loyalty in terms of football, Asim, is not there anymore. Is either player power or the club power. We've been talking about player power. Oh, the players have too much power. They can do whatever they want. Now, even though he wants his move, Newcastle, if they can dig in their heels, regardless of what Isak's done. I still think he will leave because they want the fee. They're not going to let him stay, and then because they're going to think we're going to let 130 to 140 million pound worth of talent go down the drain. So, excuse me. Yeah. So loyalty's gone in football, but. Of course, if it was the shoes on the other foot, I wouldn't be a happy chap. But we've been here before, and it is what it is. Yeah. There is a hierarchy, there is a food chain, and we're at the top of it right now.
Dave mentions in the chat that Isak has got to stand his ground, Gene, and not to play if we don't sign him. 3 months in football is a long time. He wants to play, and I think they may have. If he stays, Gene, I think. He probably says, look, just let me go in January and you've got 3 months to sign someone. I think that would be good. And do Liverpool want a player that they want to sign for 120, 130, 140, whatever it is, 150 million pounds? Do they want him to be without football for 3 months?
No.
So, although the optics might feel like, what, he really wants this Liverpool move, I think he can still play for three months of footy and still come to Liverpool in January. And if it is in January, then I think it'll be next summer. I don't think Liverpool will move away from Isak, whether it's this summer, in January, or next summer. I think we'll. But the question remains, Gene. There's an attitude and there's a line of thinking still amongst some fans is saying Liverpool bid 110 million pounds, but why would they come back in? And I've said it. Liverpool will come back in. It's all propaganda. It's all trying to hold the narrative. Why would Liverpool, and the question I keep getting thrown back at me is, why would Liverpool come back if there has been no encouragement from Newcastle? Why?
They are going to come back because the encouragement is there.
What will change? The encouragement
is 150 million quid.
So there's no encouragement. It's just basically you can't refuse 150 million pounds.
Yeah. They want their money. Asim, look, Newcastle want their money. Number one, obviously, of course, they need their replacements as well. Let's not beat around but they're going to need replacement as well. Once they bring in their replacements, then you're going to see them make play, where they're willing to sort of strike a deal with Liverpool as long as Liverpool pay the fee. The fee they want is 150 million pounds. Whether we pay that or we don't pay that, we will have to wait and see what happens. But I can see Liverpool pay the dough. I mentioned it on yesterday's pod, Asim, that Liverpool. Do not be surprised if Liverpool go hard and pay the money for Alexander Isak.
What is the deal then? Are you sticking with 150 million pounds? That is going to be the deal where we shake hands on 150 million pounds.
130 plus 10. 130 plus 10.
Look, I was never good at maths, but I think that equates to 140.
But I think that's what gets the deal done. They're going to want 150, but I think the deal gets done at 140.
You heard it here, exclusive news. 140 million pounds is the price, according to David O'Cheen. David O'Cheen tells us that 140 million pound is going to be the deal for Alexander Isak. We've got a super chat that's come through. Ads, I'm so sorry. I don't know if you were in the building earlier. We are working on how to get. It's not as easy where we were using a different software when we are at home, where you just double click and it comes on screen. It's a bit more complicated when you've got 10 million softwares running at the same time. So we're working on how to get normal comments up and especially super chats up. So I'm just going to read it out for you. It's from ads N4F. Thank you so much for sending this through. Big up, lads. These Newcastle journos are regurgitating the same news for clicks and views. Once we get Isak, they are all getting blocked and unsubbed. As long as we don't get unsubbed, that's the main thing. If we don't sign Isak, I'll be telling you all summer that he's signing. So just don't unfollow Born and Red. That's the main thing. But Gene, he thinks it's just regurgitating the same old stuff. And to be fair to ads, in the last 2-3 days, Gene, they have been telling us that the player is trying to, or Newcastle and the management and the hierarchy are trying to reintegrate the player. Is this the hierarchy and the club as a collective trying to tell their fan base that, you know what, we tried absolutely everything all summer, and even at the very last moment, we tried to get him back into the team and the squad. But he said no, he is the bad guy.
Yeah, he wants out, and they are going to paint a picture where he hasn't listened to anything. We, even after everything, we still tried. The last minute, the last week, we still tried to integrate him back, but he didn't want the move. We're literally left with no choice but to let the player leave, even if it meant them now even if they bring in a Wisser Asim, and they can't bring in another forward, and we sign Alexander Isak, they have an excuse. They've give themselves an excuse. They've bought themselves 3 or 4 months where they don't have to go and bring in 2 forwards right now. That one's enough for them. Then they sell Alexander Isak, and then they make play in terms of bringing in other forwards in January. I think that's the. Somebody saying check messages. Ali saying check messages. What's happened?
It's a tweet from Oliver Kay at The Athletic. He says, when Newcastle manager Howe greets his opposite number Arne Slot, but they will not be in the boardroom when the Liverpool delegation arrives and the atmosphere turns cold. There remains a chance of a deal up for Isak in the next 7 days if Liverpool agree to meet the 150 million price tag valuation and Newcastle sign at least one forward as a replacement.
I just said.
But the mood between the two clubs at the executive level is tense in the extreme.
It was always going to be like that, though. You're trying to take their prized asset away with 3 years left on his contract, and you're willing to pay the money. So you can't expect everything to be hardy-dar between the two clubs. No chance. There was always going to be issues. There was always going to be problems, and they were going to make it difficult. And especially with how everything's played out, because it's been played out in public. And I think Newcastle don't like the fact that it was played out in public, but it's not our fault. You promised players contracts, you didn't deliver. It's not our fault. The player came to you at the end of the season and said, I want to leave. It's not our fault. You got shafted by every single club in the Premier League, getting bids rejected left, right and centre. It's not our fault. You're not big enough to compete with the big clubs yet. You might be in 5 years' time, but right now you're not. So with respect, blame yourselves. Don't point the finger at Liverpool. All we've done is we've liked a player of yours. We've made a bid of 110 plus, which is close to the British transfer record. You rejected. If we come back in, we want that player. If you can accept it, fair play. But don't make it about us. We've not done anything wrong.
Keep liking, keep subscribing, people, and head over to the BNR membership. Become a BNR Ultra for $4.99 a month. All the exclusive content coming your way, just to make sure you get every penny's worth for that subscription. So keep liking, keep subscribing, and if you're new to the channel, just make sure you subscribe. We don't ask anything. We don't expect every single one of you who can become a member as well, but please, it doesn't cost to subscribe to the channel and liking and sharing and all that sort of good stuff. So please keep doing that. Keep showing us the love and support that you've shown us from day one. I need to get used to saying that, looking down the camera, because it's a lot easier when you're on Stream Gene, normal StreamYard, where you're just like private chat or someone reminds you just to ask people to do all the good stuff. So Gene, are you still sticking with the 3-2? I'm sticking to the 4-2. I think it's going to be a roller coaster, back and forth, man-to-man press where people, it's not going to be one of those. I think it's going to be really hot down the pitch, so the ball won't be skidding all over the pitch. But I think it's going to be one of those games where, similar to the second half last year, where we had to roll the dice. If we have to look open a bit, we will. But I think sometimes, in the way where you can't control games going the way you like at Anfield, where the atmosphere at Anfield takes over, Gene, for 15-20 minutes, it's going to be back and forth, roller coaster. And I think it's going to be one of those games where we'll see some scary moments from our own players, but we'll see some unbelievable magic moments from the likes of Wirtz and Salah as well. So, still sticking with the 3-2?
I am not changing my prediction, mate. I still believe it'll be 3-2. And I think we walk out of that stadium tonight with the 3 points. And me and you jump in for joy, mate. That's what's going to happen. You know what? We need to beat them today, man. It's a massive result. It'll send a massive, massive statement to the whole of the Premier League. Liverpool have just turned up to one of the biggest and the most hardest grounds in England, with everything riding on it, and turn them over. And then hopefully we go into that game against Arsenal, both teams with 6 points, like a proper, I know it's early, it's only 3 games in, but it'll feel already like a massive, massive game. And and I can't wait. I'll be honest with you, I can't wait for tonight. I genuinely can't wait.
Wicky's in the building. He says Liverpool will win 1-0, a clean sheet.
No comment.
No set pieces conceded. I think we'll concede tonight. I think we might concede a couple, but we'll score 4 goals as well, just like we did on the opening night against Bournemouth. I'm just trying to see what people get your predictions in, people, because a lot of people were predicting that we're going to win quite comfortably last night. Let's see if that confidence has remained overnight. Navissa says we're cooking these bums. I like that confidence. Pop says 3-1 LFC. 4-0 Bob Paddock. Wow. Wow. Let me buy some of that confidence. Where do you get that confidence from, Bob? Let me see any more popping through. 2-0. Aki's in the building. Prepare for some meltdowns tonight, lads. 2-2. I want to ask the chat, would you take a draw?
No chance.
I know your answer. You don't even tell me. I'm not even going to ask you. There will be some people who agree with it. They'll take a draw. I wouldn't take a draw right now. I think we're champions. We need to go there with our head held high and chest out as well. 4-2 again. Gakpo 2-0 and Ekitike 3-1 to Liverpool. Ali is being Ali, and he says we're winning 7-0.
Lost up a lot, Ali.
No one has predicted us to lose apart from one, I think.
So, nobody wants a draw. See?
Okay, Asim not actually is in the building. He's not taking a draw. I like that. Samuel says we're winning. Okay, bit biased this channel. We're supposed to be biased. We're supposed to be biased. If we're telling people we're going to lose tonight, nobody's going to watch. Danny's in the building. 2-0.
What do you mean lose tonight? We're the champions of England. We only lost a few games all season. Exactly. And for us to say we're going to lose, come on, man, how are we biased?
Danny's in the building. He says 2-0 Liverpool. Can't see Newcastle scoring. Wow.
A lot of people think they're not going to score, you know. I think because they don't have Isak and it's Gordon and Ilanga and stuff, and they didn't obviously score in the first game, that people think that they're not going to be scoring against us. But I don't know, man. It's at home. I think they will score. Okay, that's fine. Let's call it a day. Right, people, we're off to... is it the A19, Gene, that we travel up? I'm never good with directions. A1. Is it the A1? Yeah.
Okay. Let's hope Liverpool are A1 tonight, and I'm sure we will. It's going to be squeaky bum time at times. We're going to have to suffer. Be prepared to suffer. But you know what? It's going to be all worth it at the end. The euphoria of Mohamed Salah scoring a last-minute winner today, and Gene's going to be up in cloud 9 waving. I'm going to make sure I get that footage where he shows me his six-pack tonight. I'll compare it to Mohamed Salah because he'll be waving his shirt tonight, looking up to the clouds to the Liverpool end. But thank you so much for watching. This was a preview show. We're going to be back. Probably we'll try to get a few videos out whilst we're up in North. We're not dressed in red because we don't want a black eye coming out of that ground today. But thank you so much for watching. Keep liking, keep subscribing, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care and ta-ra for now.